What's up, guys, and welcome to Bad Motivators, where we give you all the geeky news that you need to know that happened this week for your faces. Oh my god, it feels so good. I just had an energy drink and I feel fantastic. Leo, what are we talking about today?
Today we've got a lot of cool news, man. We've got Star Wars casting,
Woo!
We've got Xbox One news, and we've got our thoughts on Man of Steel.
Actually, you know what, hold on. Before that, we got a lot of cool news, though. I think, Lucy, you have some explaining to do. You were in space.
So when I'm not being a nerd about video games, comic books, and movies, I'm being a nerd about space. My day job is the Google Lunar X Prize, and because of that, I got to go as a journalist with Boise State to fly in the NASA microgravity program. So I got to go 30,000 feet up in the air, drop to 15,000 feet, go back up to 30. I got to do that 32 times.
so it's like, whee!
Yeah, and you know what? It's exactly what you think it would feel like, just like that.
You brought a clip here. What are we about to see?
Essentially, I took my phone and I just filmed myself in the plane as best I could in zero gravity. Now, the cool thing about it is, you have to remember, you can leave objects in 3D space and they'll retain their position, which was really hard to deal with. And
Your brain just doesn't comprehend that.
Yeah, you just have a hard time with it. I mean, like, I got a sticker. I was trying to pull a sticker out of my pants while holding my phone, and I couldn't quite. And then, I could just leave the phone there, take the sticker out, and then grab the phone again. It was amazing. It was just an unreal
that's
experience.
hilarious.
But speaking of space, we've got some news about our favorite subject in the whole wide world.
Oh, look!
This stuff right here.
I didn't do this on purpose. I looked down. I was like, Star Wars.
We wore topic relevant t-shirts
Yes,
today.
I love talking about Star Wars news, and I like with their Star Wars news because then I can talk about it on this show. This week, they started casting for Episode 7. They started in the UK.
Yep.
What's really cool about this is a week ago, an article hit on Schmoes Know, stating that they have a very reliable source, saying that it's not a spoiler. I'm just letting you know what the.
It's not a spoiler because there's no movie yet.
Yeah, there's no movie. I'm just saying this is what the new trilogy is going to be about.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? It's about the twins, Han and Leia's kids.
Yes.
Jason and Jaden. No, that's Will Smith's son. So Jason, the boy, actually is going to go off and become the dark side.
Yeah.
And the girl is going to be a good side. And we talk about this family conflict, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, and the cool thing is about it, hopefully we'll get to see some of the new Jedi Order being reformed by Luke. He's probably going to get to train them, and we're going to see a resurgence of Jedis, maybe done right this time.
Hopefully.
You know, not too many where everybody and their mother has a goddamn lightsaber.
So with all this new casting information, it's really just kind of strengthening that story that we saw over on Schmoes Know.
Right.
So we're like, oh, hey, is this what it's about? Is this what we're going with? Because there's a lot of questions, like, are we doing an expanded universe? Are we talking about the kids? It looks like...
Yeah, because it's a very real...
looks like that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
And again, this is just episodes 7, 8, and 9. Nothing confirmed. We're just a reliable source that the casting information is kind of verifying. So, hey, bastard, you know how you were up flying in space in 0G?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I was at E3.
Wow, that's kind of cool, I guess.
It was kind of cool, actually. The stuff happened. They announced Battlefront 3. That was kind of neat.
It's a big deal.
It's like a bad trip to a strip club. You go, you look at all these pretty things, and you're like, you know what? Hey, I get to be with this for a few minutes. I get to play with it, but then I don't get to keep it.
Maybe it's best that you don't keep what a stripper gives you.
Oh, that's true. Man, gonorrhea, it sticks with you guys.
But along the notes of E3, some interesting news was released this week. Guess what the Xbox One is doing?
Full circle, baby, full circle.
The Xbox One is now making an Xbox 180.
Hey! The whole thing with when they announced the Xbox One was the no DRM. Like, you won't be able to trade games.
For those of you who don't know, DRM, Digital Rights Management.
There you go.
Basically, what happened was they completely had to take everything back that they said. So Sony took the opportunity to see everything that they were doing wrong and jumped on it and did everything right. They said, hey, you can trade games with your friends, you can play offline, you can do whatever you want. And Xbox was like, damn it, they're stealing our fans. So the only logical solution was, well, I guess it's not out yet. We can still change the rules. So let's just bite our tongues and go back on everything that we promised that we would do wrong.
You guys gonna call me an Xbox fanboy for saying this, and I f***ing hate that, because I'm not. But here's why this is horrible. This keeps GameStop in business. What do you guys hate so much? You hate getting a brand new game and then day one there's DLC for you to buy. You f***ing hate this so much. I hate this so much. It's because these companies need to make money back somehow, because so many people buy the game used. When you buy the game used, GameStop gets the money, not the publisher.
I mean, there is a plus side to this too. I mean, it also brings to light the fact that they cannot afford to ignore their community. You had Reddit blowing up, you had Twitter blowing up, everybody was talking about the Xbox One. So they couldn't afford to not listen to the fans and say, well, we've got to give them what they want. You're seeing this huge interactive outbursts from the community that the developers have to listen to. So your voice does matter now.
My big issue with this is that game companies are going to close down. This happens all the time. People are constantly losing jobs because game developers are shutting down because they aren't making enough money, because they're losing sales to used games. And this also leads to, we're gonna see a huge rise in microtransactions.
That's right.
We're gonna see a huge rise in extra DLC. You might be able to buy a game, but then like, oh, here's 5 extra missions for you that we had ready but didn't put in because they wanna make money. We'll see what happens, but I want to really get to point out that I think that we've just taken a giant step back and we are no longer going into the next generation of consoles.
You have Sony representing the old ways and Xbox wanting to move into the new grounds, and we'll see where gaming goes. I mean, it could topple either way at this point. It could be, like you said, a step back and it never progresses, or in the future they'll see that this is the only way to do it. Meanwhile, Nintendo's in the corner going, hey guys, we got Mega Man.
All right, so I finished my giant rant there. Now I want to talk about something that actually made me happy. I don't know how it made you feel, but here's our little, you asked for our opinions on Man of Steel, and we're going to give you a little mini review. So yes, there will be spoilers ahead.
Spoiler alert.
Boop, boop.
Beep, boop, bop, bop, Is that the spoiler sound?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about
Excuse me.
One sentence review, Joven.
Best Superman movie, comma, not necessarily the best superhero movie.
It was probably the best Dragon Ball Z movie I've ever seen. Why'd you like it?
All right, so here's the thing. Going into this movie, I had the same problem with the character Superman as I do with Thor. They're just too godlike. You don't really see a struggle with them. There's not too much of a connection. It's just like, okay, things are happening. They'll come out of it okay. This was the first time I've seen a Superman movie or a godlike superhero that actually you can feel their struggle as they fought.
So I believe in this movie, Superman was a little bit too emo and was kind of lost. And I get that, right? He's an alien in this strange world.
And his place.
Yeah, he's trying to find his place. But I don't believe that the Kents were properly displayed as the people that instilled that morality in him. Hey guys, guess what? I know my real dad's dead, but I just saw my alien dad, and I totally know what to do now.
This movie was a great prologue. But at the end, like he does do the whole, my hair's combed, I have glasses, I work at the Daily Planet. There were some interesting, let's call them plot holes that I'm gonna nitpick at.
Are you talking about the dildo spaceships that they encapsulate their criminals in?
No.
Oh.
I can't unsee that now. Speaking of spaceships, one of my issues was, so Clark Kent makes it into this first spaceship in that Icelandic place, and he puts in the necklace, and then he gets to see his father for the first time, and Russell Crowe says, wow, you've grown much larger than I could have ever imagined. And then 5 minutes later gives him a suit that fits perfectly.
Well, first of all, the suit was in a scout ship that was already on Earth.
Yeah, how, why, how,
It
why?
just had a spare suit with the House of L logo on it.
Why?
They got their own clothing line.
It doesn't
apparently.
make sense.
Who knows?
It's still an entertaining movie, but writers, what the are you doing?
Okay, I mean, I guess. Maybe the scouts belonged to the House of L originally, and there was a spare suit. Okay, I'll buy it.
But it fit him perfectly?
Well,
come on.
He is Superman. He looks good in everything.
Yeah.
So, I have to give credit where credit is due. I thought the physics in the movie were amazing. This is how superheroes who have these powers would move. This is how buildings do topple. Even the gravity machine, the way it affected gravity,
That was cool.
from, I have some semblance of a science nerd in me, and I felt that was pretty accurate. I thought it all looked really good.
This movie was fun. It was a great Superman movie. It's not bad by any means.
No, it's a
just,
cool movie.
Writing-wise, it's like you guys gotta pay attention to these little things.
It's almost like they spent too much time on the action sequences and making things look glorious that they didn't really pay attention to the details.
the ending. Now, gets very controversial. Again, here's that spoiler.
A big thing.
Superman kills Zod.
Pow!
Which in the moment was just so intense, nobody saw it coming, because Superman is the Boy Scout.
I think that's what they were trying to do story-wise, is they were trying to portray that that's the moment that Superman starts caring about the human race more than anything else, because
That's
he
the
will
point.
kill to defend mankind.
Yeah, that yell that he had after he killed Zod, I think was that moment where Superman sees, this is not the man I want to become. This is not how I want to solve problems. I can't believe I was forced to do this.
Killed the last, from what he knows, he killed the last of his race to save this race. So basically, he chose humankind
Man, so much frustration.
over Kryptonians.
So essentially, the movie, I think we'll agree, is very good. There's just these little moments where like, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense. It was a big win for WB, and I look forward to a Justice League movie that needs needs to happen one day. I do think there should have been a prominent Justice League nod saying this is going to happen, but we'll save that for another bad movie.
Well, I mean, I guess you can say the fact that there was a Wayne Tech satellite proves that both of these heroes live in the same
yeah,
world.
but it wasn't Samuel L. Jackson coming out saying, hey, I'm putting a team together.
I'm putting together the Batman Initiative.
That's how he sounds. Leo, it's so good to have you back.
Awesome to be back, man.
This was your episode of Bad Motivators for the week. All the geeky news that you needed to know about. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at the Jovenshire. You can follow this guy at Leo Zombie. Follow us, talk to us, and we'll see you next week to give you more geeky news you need to know about.
Let's talk about stuff and hang out.
Live out loud, guys.